Divorced men after 40 on dating apps. Like, it is all the same. They should have Oakleys or some sunglasses that they bought at a gas station to make this really accurate. But, like, I don't know what else you do, man. I don't take selfies, and I don't like it when people take photos of me because I hate how I look. I despise how I look. I've got a few photos I'll use, but man, I don't know what else to do at a certain point. I deserve the seat because I am a woman. I gave my seat for an old lady on the bus. Next day, I lost my job as a driver. This world is cruel. Land panda, sea panda, air panda, ice panda. Is this also AI generated? The reason I ask is because it has that piss filter that AI generated crap tends to. Cute joke, but like, I don't know. This is where we're at now. I'm always curious and worried. Me in the middle of the heist realizing they misunderstood when I said I'm a safe cracker. Oh, okay, I gotcha. Patience, Ted, patience. It's either this or it's you just got a new windshield and the rocks are waiting to fly up off the road and destroy it. The sun watching you steal its heat, turn it into electricity, and then use it to cool your room. Noah. I'll call the animals in the ark in an alphabetical order. The zebras feeling the water climb up to their asses. I don't know why they're so panicked though. Think about it. They made it. They're good. They're all set, man. So what's really the problem? Look, I can understand how it might have been panic-inducing at the moment, but did you die? No, you did not. You made it, so quit your screaming, you striped son of a Ancient Rome motherfuckers when they want to order 10 of something. Bring back dislikes. That was 4 years ago. People don't forget. They're still there. They are still there. I am still using the stupid add-on that you can use on Firefox and Chrome and other browsers that will let me see them. They're not super accurate, but they're pretty darn close. They're close enough for me to be able to see them. And I still think this was one of the most pathetic changes they ever made. It really was. Like, some people said, well, hey, look, if you're a small creator, it hides all the dislikes you may get from people that just hate you, I guess. I don't know. I've seen that argument, but the real argument for bringing back dislikes is that it will immediately show me if the content I'm watching, say a tutorial, is real or not. Nintendo, the moment they see you modding their Switch 2... Yeah, that's a fun one, guys. For those of you that don't know, if you're gonna mess around with your Nintendo Switch 2, you better be real careful because they now have the apparent legal right to completely disable and destroy your entire system. Not ban you from the online services like they've been able to before, but completely brick and shut down the entire console that you paid for with zero refund. You know, the device that you paid for and own, it is your device legally, you own it. No, you don't. You don't anymore. Nintendo is out here letting us know and opening the floodgates for other companies to do the same that you don't own what you bought, you don't, and you never will. Kids in movies will see this on the table, take a sip of orange juice, and say, I'm late for the bus. They will do that, but generally, if you've been paying attention to whatever story is being told on screen, you'll know why they do that, right? I mean, me, I'm not skipping out on this, even though I know eating a bunch of this delicious food will not give me energy. It will slow me down and make me feel like maybe not when you're a kid and your metabolism's crazy, but man, as an adult, I'm gonna see this, eat it, and then go back to bed for 4 hours because I have to, okay? I've finally hit that age, okay? I hate it, I'm old, I'm gonna die. Turn on all cameras. This button instantly turns on the cameras for all 86 participants. Okay, cool. Really neat tool. I don't know why everyone has to have a camera. Doesn't make sense. Never will. I understand that it can be there to show that you're awake and participating and all of that, but maybe have a little bit of trust. I know it's really hard in today's world, but just maybe have a goddamn tiny bit. Plus, if you don't have a warning here, you might see something you don't want to see. You know what I'm saying? A picture of a planet 5 billion kilometers away. Bank security cameras. You know, security cameras have always been perplexing. Security cameras and dash cams have always been very perplexing because why do they look like absolute dumpsters? Like, both of them are incredibly important. I mean, it's not the Wild West anymore, but banks are still at risk, you know, from a guy wearing a Stetson and assless chaps coming in with a shotgun. Put the money in the bag with the $sign on it. Cars in action movies still works after being shot 1,000 times. Cars in horror movies can't even start. I am kind of interested about the choice of cars here. It could have just been like the same car, right? Your point still would have been made, right? No, you are correct. Although, if I had to guess, when it comes to horror movies, it's usually because the car ran out of gas because the big evil murderer guy siphoned it all, right? Ooh, or drank it. Maybe just drank all the gas. I don't know. But it's just... It's just plot devices, man. Because everyone complains about how things happen because they wouldn't happen like that in the real world. Duh. That's the goddamn point, okay? Realism on its own is so goddamn boring. We live that every day. Why would I want to play a video game that's hyper-realistic to real life? That's stupid as shit. Give me something dumb. Give me a slightly altered version of our world. Hell, give me a heavily altered version of our world, right? Where my car still works after being shot 10 billion times, or being dropped off the Empire State Building. If you need to scare me, use whatever tactics at your disposal to do so. If you want to thrill me, do the same thing, all right? What's the problem here? Chiropractors, when you crack your fingers on your own? No, not your fingers. That's not your fingers. They do get really freaking pissed off if you mention that you crack your neck or your back or whatever, though. Specifically your neck. It's funny, they get really pissed off if you do it yourself. And I understand why they would be really concerned. They do make a lot of claims about how if you pop your neck and stuff like that, you're going to give yourself a stroke. I don't understand that. Then again, I'm not a chiropractor. I also don't really trust them. Me, who wore deodorant, everyone else at the Yu-Gi-Oh tournament. I see a sign a lot online, like, I was, to preface this, I follow a lot of people that are brony artists or furry artists or fursuiters or whatever. Don't pretend you're surprised at all. And I think one of my favorite things is whenever there's a convention going on, whenever there's a convention for either or both or whatever, every single time in that group, there is one person that heads out with a sign that says, if you can afford a fursuit, you can afford deodorant. And I agree, man. Like, come on. You know, there's a few things you should probably do before you go to a con with your giant suit, okay? Clean it because you need to clean your stuff, right? That's just common sense. Apparently, a Turkish man invented the steam engine 200 years before the Industrial Revolution, but he only made it to spin... I've never known how to say that word. Please, your invention can change the world, revolutionize power, transportation, and save millions of lives. The kebab needs even roasting on all sides. Look, most amazing inventions are born out of necessity for a certain thing. This guy had his certain thing, just didn't really bother telling anybody about it, I'm assuming, or letting people know the secret, whatever, and it's fine. How different would the world be? I'm curious. How different do we think the world would be if we had the steam engine 200 years earlier? Do you think we would have sped climate change up and destroyed the planet by now that we think that Earth could be uninhabitable in 200 to 500 years, roughly speaking? Like, we may have come up with crazier technologies way faster that solved the problem way faster, but money always gets in the way of that, and I don't think so. So when I look at it, my pessimistic ass looks at this as, thank goodness he didn't. We're in a pretty good spot, technologically speaking, in 2025, but we could be living in an absolute horrific wasteland right now if this dude had really tried to sell this to the world, you know? If any of this is even real. When it's the internet, you never really know, do ya? Me, a non-native, watching Americans misuse half their language. Me, a non-native, watching what does that mean? Me, a non-native where? A non-native American? Like, do you mean like I don't know, this one, I don't understand. Plus, I'm sorry, misuse half their language. I don't know what that exactly means. I really don't. Are you British? What is this? What's the complaint here? I'm very confused by this whole thing. Maybe you guys will get it more than me, all right? I am not the representative of meme culture that I once was. I'm almost 75 years old, you know? God. So there's just one rule. Well, okay, it wasn't that quick, all right? Okay? And, you know, I'm kind of confused. I'm a little bit confused. Like, I get it. It's just the one rule. It was the golden rule. Leave my damn fruit alone. Don't touch my fruit, okay? It's like saying, hey, eat whatever the hell you want in the fridge except my yogurt. Don't touch my goddamn yogurt. That's my yogurt. And of course, you'd be pretty pissed if your yogurt was the only thing that was touched in that fridge, right? But it does kind of suck that it seems like it was kind of hyped up. Look, if you eat this apple, you'll gain all the knowledge that you could ever want. Not actually true. Look, I've never read the Bible, okay? I don't know if that's how it went. I just know that we'd all be tempted, no matter how perfect life may have seemed in this walled off goddamn garden. I don't know, how perfect was it? Plus, come on, God. You created creatures, you perfect being you created creatures, gave them temptation, knowing they would take it because you know everything that's ever happened, has happened, will happen, is gonna happen, is happening right now. You knew what was gonna happen, and you punished them anyway by doing what? Kicking them out? No more apples? In the early 1800s, Dr. Ignaz Semmelweis determined that fewer patients would die if doctors washed their hands before surgery, and was rejected by the medical medical community. Some doctors who were offended at the suggestion that they would wash their hands even mocked him for it. He spent his last days in a mental asylum. It wasn't until years after his death that he was proven right. All right, interesting. Did he go crazy because he's like, guys, please, this is such a simple thing? Did he just like lose his mind trying to convince people? Or was he put there because people thought he was completely insane for thinking that cleaning your hands might help things out? Right? What? When you're so good at crime, the FBI hires you instead of arresting you? What? What kind of goddamn micro-budget TV show plotline is this? I'm just kidding. I've seen this happen before. In one of my favorite shows it happened, in Eureka. Pilot. We are now flying over 20,000 feet. I could sit here and try and analyze this low-res ass image all day, and I'm sorry we've hit this point. But if this is generated, I'm sorry. Oh, wait, no, hold on, check it out, right there. Sorry. There's a little, look at the bottom right corner here, it just says AI, beautiful. This should be a requirement. As it gets harder and harder to tell, there should be some sort of legislation out there that requires these companies to put a watermark marking it as artificially generated. Absolutely required. It has to, man. After the recent updates with a new certain generative model that I'm not even going to name, you know what it is, but I'm not going to name it because I don't want to continue to perpetuate the destruction of artistic integrity forever. We've got to have some ways to combat it, okay? I know that whoever is gathering posts here for EmKay is keeping a weathered eye out and everything. They're doing their best, but it's going to get harder and harder. So I want stuff like this to be the norm. It won't. I have seen some subreddits start to make some moves about all this by saying, hey, we need to ban this stuff from the subreddit, otherwise this entire website will be dead. It'll die. All of this will die. The internet will completely die out. Whatever good parts of it are left, you're gonna lose them. You're gonna lose movies, you're gonna lose YouTube, you're gonna lose everything that you like, you're gonna lose art, you're going to lose everything if there's no way to begin to tell. Genuinely, it's freaking me out. This isn't funny. You AI. Circumcised people, they have no place to sneak food into the movie theater. Uncircumcised people can bring a purse. No, really, you can bring your purse. That's fine. They don't search your purse. I just wouldn't try bringing a backpack in, you know? I wouldn't attempt that. The genie looking at me after I wish for his lamp to be replaced by my balls. Well, I mean, could he do anything in there? Would you feel him living in his little one-bedroom apartment in your balls? I'm asking the real questions. These are the answers we need, okay? Oh, and just as an update, some of you guys did find that genie YouTube sketch. Thank you for bringing that back to my attention. Still one of the best ever made. CERN turned lead into gold just for a split second. Okay, but they did it. I'm confused here. See, really crazy, amazing thing thought to be impossible or magical or witchcraft happened, but only happened for a split second. So therefore, it's not real. It's actually stupid. It's actually dumb and didn't happen. So today I met his father, and his father's my gynecologist. Dad sees her hole getting more and more dilated as the months go by. That's my boy. Yeah, man. Wait, more and more? What is this? Getting bigger? Friend, how on earth did your car pass inspection? Your inspector. The secret ingredient is crime. But isn't it always bribery? Wish I had the money for bribery. I don't know how it would help me, though. I don't think it would help me in any way, shape, or form. Team Fortress 2 fan ready to recite all the meet the in a random comment section when there's a slight TF2 reference? Ready to recite all the what? No, I'm trying to dissect some of these. What? Ready to recite all of the meet the in a random comment. I've never seen this. What do you mean recite all of them? Recite their entire scripts? Their jokes? What do you mean? I'm sorry, I don't understand. But I will say this, instead of reciting all of the Meet the videos, you should be reciting all of the Meet the Amazing videos instead, because those are better, I would say. I think even Valve would agree that the Meet the Amazing series is a step up above the Meet the series. You know? I know you agree. The all-new One UI 7. Is that really what it looks like now? Is that Samsung's new Android flavor? I don't know what it's called. I have no idea. I don't give a crap. Really? I mean, it doesn't really look like iOS. I mean, it's very reminiscent. They're always reminiscent of one another. They always have been. They're always going to be. Okay, let's get that out in the open right now. They always look similar, and they always have. This one sparks joy. This one does not spark joy. Dude, I am so glad that Pepsi, of all companies, Pepsi is the one leading the charge for undoing the oversimplification and minimalistic bullshit that logos have been going through. Jaguar, please change this. Me explaining to my wife that it's actually always been pronounced Jazzlight. Get the f out of here. It's time for you to look inward and start asking yourself the big questions. Do you hate your job? Or do you hate working in general? It's the job, dude. What kind of dumbass question is that? Look, I genuinely like working when what I'm doing pays for my existence to a comfortable degree. I'll do I'll work if I'm getting paid 80 grand a year. Yeah, I'll be standing at that cash register 10 hours a day. I don't give a shit. I'll have a smile on my face because I can afford to pay rent, eat, take trips, live my life. It's the job. It's the job. My landlord, when he has to fix something that needed fixing even before I moved in. Come on, landlords. Look, don't most of them go through a company that manages all this shit anyway? Why can't even they do their job? Mom, buy some lettuce. Me at the store. Well, they're usually labeled. They're labeled, honey. Announces his retirement, becomes the most famous man on the internet. I will say, I discovered this guy when he had like 9 million subscribers. And like 2 days later, he had like 14 million. I can totally understand his point of view entirely. It is a little odd that, he's saying, I'm going to retire. This is too much. Go subscribe to my child's YouTube channel that's already exploding and going nuts. I mean, that part's a little weird. I'll admit, seems interesting. If you value your family's privacy and safety, why are you letting your child do whatever? Not really the point. So many people online proved that he was in the right for doing this. I respect it, man. His videos ruled. Loved the guy. Crazy as hell in the coolest way possible. But, dude, he was growing so fast, it was freaky. And it probably made him go, yeah, I'm getting recognized everywhere, and I don't like it. Be out with my family trying to, eat dinner or do this, and people are just all up in my I can totally understand how it happened. Too much success, too quickly. Look, he's probably made his cool $5, $6, $7 trillion through ad rev, and he's gonna have serious money coming in for a good couple years with his view count, okay? He's made his money, he can get out, and I'm glad he had the ability and the foresight to stop before it started to drive him and his family crazy. Respect, man. How I look telling my kids that McDonald's had a $1 menu where the food was actually $1. Yeah, now it's a $1, $2, $3 menu where literally none of the food is cheaper than the $3 section. It's like a cup of coffee is the only thing on the dollar part now. Politicians and diapers must be changed often, and for the same reason. I'm not gonna do any Googling today, but I feel like we could... Did he actually say this? I've seen this quote attributed to him before, but be honest with me. Lactose intolerant person when a pteranodon picks them up, drops them midair, catches them again, and then gets swallowed by a mosasaurus? Damn, that is insane. I am so happy that this actress enjoyed the crazy death she got. But what is it with Spielberg? And guaranteed, Spielberg always does at least one crazy, insane psycho-level death in every movie. It's seriously, look at all of his movies. The majority of them. He's like, all right, this character, we're going to give them the most insane death possible. EU, Nintendo, new terms of service, gamers. I hope, but hey, all of us in the US, we just don't get to own things anymore. I'm glad the EU's out there at least trying to do something. Although I really, really wish that the Stop Killing Games campaign was having a little bit more headway. I really wish that they were getting more good news across the board. If you guys don't know what that is, look at the channel Accursed Farms and try to get involved with what he's doing there. I genuinely think that that's a really important thing that's going on right now that more people need to know about. When you're losing your gaming and memeing skills, oh dude, I never had gaming or memeing skills, so I guess I'm not having an existential crisis like you. Motherfuckers, make this decision at 8 and die with it. You're damn right. Bulbasaur is the only choice. Go for yourself. Me trying to leave the house on time, my morning poop. I mean, I don't know. None of us have enough fiber, by the way. You ever notice that? Take some fiber capsules, man. You'll live a better life. I'm not kidding. Parents, did you poop? Toddler, no. Damn, those pants are really keeping it in. Beginner scooter trick tutorial. All right, not bad. Okay. God damn it, I hate this crap. When I ask something on Reddit and someone replies, search the internet, I swear to God, there are people that hang out in subreddits just to do this. If I go to a subreddit about, let's say I go to Hydro Homies, right? And I want to ask those guys, I'm interested in being obsessed with water intake. What's the best receptacle for me to use to, effectively get more water in my body with great ease? And half of them will go, Google's a thing, dude. Why does your community exist? Why does your community get to exist if every time someone wants to be a part of your community, something you want, you have to be a little about it? Hey guys, you guys are the experts. What should I do? Maybe you should go Google, asshole. Get out of here. What day is it today? The 21st of May. Then why don't you write it as 5/21? Shouldn't it be 2105 like you said? Jesse, what the hell are you talking about? 7-year-old me being told that the computer monitor is in fact not the computer itself? but it's all in there. Game releases a new free skin, the lobby the next day. I think it's fun. Let's all become twinsies. Women who keep height standards for men when you mention weight standards for women. Man, what the f are we doing here, dog? Me, modern day struggling, making almost double that. Wait, what? Me in 2016 to 2019 being able to afford rent, bills, car, insurance, trips, making $15 an hour. Ah, I see. You're making almost where the hell do you live? Dude, if I were making $30 an hour working anywhere, I'd be pretty good. Not saying that that's, I think minimum wage should be like $50-$60 at this point, man. Jesus Christ. But like, I don't know where I live. $30 an hour is pretty fucking set. I'm 5'9". Sorry, I don't date guys below 6 feet. Okay. Tax avoiding billion-dollar companies after planting 10 trees and giving $5,000 to charity. We were bad, but now we're good. We're sorry. Boys with a time machine. I'm your grandson. Whoa, dude, for real? Men with a time machine. Please do not study wolves in captivity. You will damage society in inconceivable ways. Oh, no way. Is that the guy that started the alpha of the pack Omega bull, and now everyone actually still thinks that wolf packs have alphas and stuff, and actual like hold on a second, I gotta Google this really quick. Yeah. So the study is largely inaccurate. Largely inaccurate. It's not even true. The guy himself, I think, even said, I was wrong, don't, and now we've got douchebags out there role-playing as alpha males, when that means nothing. Guys, I'm starting to forget my actual language because I think in English, talk to myself in English, talk to others in English, and watch too much stuff that's English. Well, I will say, just find time to watch stuff in your native language, read stuff, like just find time to break that monotony, because no one's native language deserves to disappear. No languages should disappear from this earth at all. If they're part of your heritage in any way, shape, or form, just find some time to use it. Talk with family that can speak that language. Make sure that you're reading books or literature, watching shows, just doing some exercises to make sure you don't forget it. I'm a native English speaker. I don't speak any other language at all, but English to me has always been sort of the world's secondary language. It's never, I hope it doesn't become the primary. Like, that would be weird. English is a great second language to learn, but man, it would really suck if all these other ones disappeared. Vin Diesel spotted shirtless on a yacht in Italy, and you're yachtless in a shirt. Don't act like he's the loser. Me explaining that we should shower 2 to 3 guys at a time on the upcoming boys trip to conserve water. That's not a bad idea. Me waiting for a group of entrepreneurial kids to knock on my door and offer to mow my yard for money. You know, I've only experienced that once. Not the mowing, but the shoveling snow. That's the only time I've seen it once. One time. And I feel like it's a dying art. Kids, seriously, you'll make some money, dude. We'll pay you like $20-$30 to shovel the drive. Just do it. Seriously.